Okay, Flynn.
All right, hello.
Tell me all about you.
All right, my name obviously Flynn Keizers. I'm from the Netherlands. Born and raised in Hilversum, the Netherlands. Well, I'm born in Amsterdam, raised in Hilversum. It's a town where Bas is also from, actually.
You guys are childhood friends.
We only met in Madrid at the master.
That's crazy.
But we're from even the neighborhood we live in is the same neighborhood.
Crazy.
But he also lived abroad for a bit whilst I was in the town, so not always there at the same time. But yeah, I did my primary and high school at an international school in Hilversum. International, because that's weird for someone who's from the country, from the Netherlands. My mom's from the US, so that's why.
You have a US citizenship.
Correct.
And also a
Dutch, correct,
yeah.
dual citizenship. Yeah, it's nice to have. Yeah.
I would love to have two citizenships.
Yeah. An EU and an American one is, the combination is nice. But that's why international school in Hilversum. And then I did my bachelor in communication science in Amsterdam at the Vrije Universiteit, it's called.
Okay.
And then during that, in my third year, my first semester of my third year, I lived it for 6 months and studied at Copenhagen Business School. And so that was first what really got me to okay, I want to do something business-wise, business-oriented. And that's like a really good prestigious school in Scandinavia, so I really enjoyed going there. And living in Copenhagen was a pretty cool city, because it's comparable to Amsterdam, but still different. So it didn't feel like I was going too far away from home. Also because it was like an hour flight, it's not too far from home. And then after that, I graduated my bachelor, and then during my bachelor, I worked part-time as a boat captain for 2.5 years of my 3 years in Amsterdam.
You have a license to drive a boat.
Correct. Yeah. So in the Netherlands, they're actually quite lenient. You don't really need a license to drive a boat, but if it's above, I think around 8 meters, and it can take more than 15 people, which is the case for the boats that I was driving, you require a license for the driving of it, as well as the radio. You need a radio on the boat as well.
You are 21, right?
22.
You're 22 years old and you already have two citizenship. You already have a license and you have already traveled a couple of countries in Europe. Have you been to US? I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So continents as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had a childhood like you.
So what was your reasoning to leave?
I always wanted to explore different parts of the world, and I never wanted to do my master's from India.
Okay,
because firstly, I think that sports is my only way out to the industry. I don't have a plan B. My plan B would be doing an atomic bomb research or something like that.
Well, much different plan B.
Yes, much different plan B. So I don't want to do that. It's a lot of studies, a lot of brain using. I don't have that much patience to sit with books. But anyways, so I wanted to keep, exploring different people, different cultures, different countries like that. And for 2 years I kept doing this master delayed, like I kept postponing it, since my parents were not financially ready to support me, and I was also working, so it was a good excuse that I got my experience in the line of sports industry and whatever I wanted to do. So, but only in India. And then I found my way out. I just jumped right in. So that's how, and I don't want to go back and settle in India now. No, because
you're happy in Europe or
Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, Europe or maybe any other Asian countries, but not in India. Because India is very different, and you don't really have that kind of opportunities or jobs for every kind of when we say designated area or interest of people. So people, they usually move out. So that's how Indians are always in every part of the world.
So it's a massive population too.
It's number one. There's no place. I still don't get it. Like government should make a rule like how China had one time, like one child per house. I think they should. It's really strict, but I think they should maintain it because they really have to bring down the number of population on the
it's funny, that's the opposite of so many countries in the world.
Oh my
Like in the Netherlands, if immigration wasn't a thing, there would be a decreasing population. And that's the case in many European
in Japan and
countries.
Korea as well.
Yeah.
Like since they don't have a lot of youth, so they are calling people from different countries that come, work for us, live here. They're also giving out people money to settle down, marry some people over there or something.
It's the first time Korea and Japan are ever doing that, welcoming, and not just welcoming, but like inviting people to come into the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people are just taking those opportunities and they're just going away. And once you get the taste of outside, like the air of different places, you don't really want to come back to the same cocoon you
I get
left.
that. I feel the same as well.
So exactly, you felt like you were better away from a lot of things. So you don't really want to go back with in the same square one.
Yeah. Where like you started, but you don't want to continue being in.
Like as a guest, maybe you can knock the door.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm here for the holidays.
Exactly.
I'm here for the vacation.
Yeah.
But not for full time.
Do you go frequently back to India?
No, I think I was just discussing this with my mom when I was back in India. What do you say? Like, I started playing badminton by the age of 5. And then till the age of 19. So I started playing professionally when I was 12 years old. So I never really had the time to sit and relax. Like till from the age of 5 to the age of 19, I was just going to school, going to practice, going to study, and then, and then again keep repeating the same thing till I started playing professionally. Then travels to different cities in India for my national trips and everything. So I never really got the opportunity to sit back and relax and breathe for some months.
Okay.
And then before I even graduated from my bachelor's, I started to work.
Okay.
And it was during the COVID time. It was in 2022.
Yeah.
So I started working and then never had the opportunity to even relax. I used to visit home, but only for a week.
Okay.
Never got the chance to even bond with my parents.
Okay. So when you played badminton, that was elsewhere than home.
Yes, away from places.
So where's home and where was badminton?
No, so my practice was where I used to live, but I had to keep on traveling to different places. Since also my
competition.
Exactly. Since also my standards keep getting higher and higher in school, the study levels also keep getting increased. They kept increasing, and considering the study factors of the materials that they pressurize students to study in India, was way too difficult than comparing to any other country, I would say. In Asia mostly, exams are very important. You really have to, get good grades in those exams, and it's really important. It's also pressurizing for students, but that's how it is. That's how the nature is. So that kept getting increased, the level of studies increased, the pressure for the tournaments kept increasing. So never had the time. Like there were so many weddings that happened in my own family, like my relatives. I never attended them.
Okay, wow.
There are some of my sisters, like my cousins. They also have kids. Maybe they're planning for another kid, but I've never seen their husbands on their kids.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was worse.
Kept you very busy.
It actually did. And then once I got like 4 months vacation, I was just chilling. I didn't want to work. I just was busy with taking care of my US visa or any other, like applying for my residency permit in France. And that's how my 4 months went by. The story is about you. Why are you asking?
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
No, but it's okay. It should be like this. But yeah, that's just small milestones that I'm collecting for myself. But when I'm willing to give up my Indian nationality and get a European.
You did that a lot. I mean, because you're not allowed to be a dual citizen, are you?
No, in India they don't allow.
That's why, yeah, because all the families that I know, none of them are Indian citizens anymore. They're all Dutch citizens now.
Exactly. So they're willing to give up because it's good to have 2 nationalities than only one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of visa problems, and if you're traveling, then it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But you're not allowed to be a dual citizen if you're a citizen of India, right? Okay, so that's why.
I have to leave. That's mandatory.
Wow.
I have to leave my homeland nationality, and then take another.
Wow.
Okay. And then after I get that national, like certified for that country, then I can apply for any other country. it's only in Asia, or I think it's only in maybe
Okay.
in India they do it.
Okay. Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
it goes on.
Yeah. I'm happy that in both the countries that I'm from, it's allowed to be a citizen. It's nice to have. But to be fair, I never use my American passport for traveling or.
Not even today.
Now being in Chicago, yes, I use it. Like when I check in the Netherlands, I use my Dutch passport. And then when I arrive in the US, I show my American. When I leave the US, I show the American. And then when I come back to Europe, I use my Dutch again.
So nice.
You just play the card where you know it's best.
That's so cool.
But like whenever, the only time I ever use my US passport, the moment like I have to like brush the dust off it, is when I go to the United States. Because anywhere else in the world, I'm never going to use my US passport because you're just going to get like some places you go, like you just know that they're going to just treat you differently, if like, especially if you go to the Middle East, for example, or anywhere in Europe, they'll be like asking more questions if you're an American versus like if you're Dutch, who cares about the Netherlands? Like I don't think barely anyone has anything negative to say about the Netherlands. Maybe a couple of countries from bad history, but if you go by like if you travel any country with a Dutch passport, people are like, all right, you go right ahead.
Wow, is that strong?
Not necessarily strong, I think, but if you look at just like global conflict,
Okay.
we're never really part of too much.
You're
So-
like Switzerland, like
Yes,
neutral.
similar. Yeah.
That's nice.
So that's why I would much rather use that like formal identity as opposed to the American one, which is has a much different reputation globally.
Very smart.
Yeah.
You're a very smart person.
Yeah.
You know where to.
The tactics of traveling.
Exactly.
But
That's
and it makes sense because most of my traveling is done within the EU. So I'm always going to bring my EU passport with me as opposed to the non-EU passport. It's just easier.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Also because then you don't even need your passport. The European ID is enough to travel within Europe.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, I find you very interesting because you're so
Thank you.
young and you're also so nice and humble to everybody. I don't know whether you get it from your parents. Maybe you
I'd say so, yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like what drives you, you know, in between, in a whole lot of mess with older people?
I mean, I'd say, how old are you?
24.
Okay. So I'm that much older.
But
I'd say the
yeah.
age range, if you look at the age range within the master, you're right, I'm on the younger side. But like Victor, for example, I think he's 20.
Really?
So I think he's the youngest of everyone in the master.
That's why I whispered.
Keep that hush, yeah.
I'm just gonna beat that out.
But I think there's just, I think most people are, yes, like from, if you look at the average age, I'm probably lower than that, yes. So I think you asked what drives me, like in terms of a group that I'm younger than, or just in general in the master?
In general, like, because, you know, even though I'm just 2 years older than you, there is not much of difference, I would say. But still there is a little bit of mentality difference, I would say, because I used to be a 22 years old and then now I'm 24 years old, and then there are a lot of people who are, you know, elder than me or you.
Yeah.
So how do you define, you know, the mentality, like, you know, being the young one and cope up with the older ones?
Yeah. I'd say it's very evident in like the post-master period. So like, for example, I think a lot of people see as of like, at least in the Madrid campus, I'm sure if it's exactly the same at Amos, is that like February is the last period of classes and exams, and as of March we have to do an internship. I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys.
No, I was discussing with Lian and actually Alejandra yesterday.
Yeah.
We were sitting in my house, like, you know, the sitting area in my apartment, and they were saying that, oh no, we graduate next year, but for Amos, like for us, the Paris students, we get time till December to finish our 6 months internship, and we get our degrees and everything in 2027 in the month of May. So they give us that period that, okay, it's not a rush, but also a rush. We have to finish 6 months and then we have to write a paper on that. And I think that's it for our fourth semester.
Interesting. So I say in terms of like mentality wise at the different ages, I think a lot of people who are older than myself have had more time to do internships in the past or even have work experience already, that as of March they're not looking for an internship, they're looking for a job. Like Jaime, for example. He's already worked at EY for a couple of years and has done internships as far as I know. So he's not interested in doing yet another internship. I get it because he's already had real world life experience, like working experience, which is something I don't have. Like the only things I've ever done were like student jobs. I've never had like a real, like not necessarily per se just office job, but like more like that, more working for a corporation or an organization.
And more communication side, like you communicate with a lot of people. Because
I'd say more like what you see, like for example, the jobs that I've had were in high school, I worked as a football coach, soccer, I guess here in the US, but I'll call it football.
Yeah, football makes sense. I was also discussing with Jaime on the side.
Yeah, there I worked for 3 years, and then in university I worked for 3 years at the boat company. So, but that was like being a football coach and a tour guide. Like, I don't see those two jobs as like really, it's definitely not in the sports industry, but in general, like a job that you would really put on your CV as a full-time job. Now they're on my CV because that's all I have. But I feel like if I were able to attain, let's say we go 5 years down the line and I've had 1 or 2 different jobs working in the sports industry, I would likely no longer put those jobs that I've already done now, no longer on my CV, because and especially in 10, 20 years from now, they definitely won't be in there. That is there right now to prove that I have 6 years of not just being a student sitting around and just being a student, but I actually have 6 years of working experience. But they're not entirely relevant to the industry that I want to work in, and I don't deem them as, like I said, like jobs that I would consider full-time jobs.
But those are very cool jobs. I wish they had in India. Like I would do it happily. Like
That'd be what?
Like maybe just do what is that they call in US, like the people who dress up with, they have badges, they have to do
tour guide or
not tour guide, not scavenger hunt, like have you seen that movie Up?
Yeah.
The kid, he has badges. Scouting, yes.
Yeah.
So I would happily do it, just go to some camping or summer camps and just, help people around or do scouting things or something.
Yeah, a lot of those in the US, like summer camps.
That's what I'm saying. In India, we don't have it.
Okay.
But
as in to participate or work in one of them?
Working, participate, nothing like this is there.
Okay, well, it exists in the United States.
That's what I'm saying.
And in the Netherlands too, but then obviously, without Dutch, it's like in Europe it's tough because there's countries where you could work with not the native language of the local language, but if you're working at a camp, you're working with younger children, and then therefore they're not always going to be able to speak English as opposed to the local language. But in the US, they have a lot of these opportunities, especially for foreign students. I think if you did your research, you could definitely find a summer camp to work out in the United States.
Probably, maybe not now, because I really need money.
Who knows, you can earn money. I don't think they really do that just as a volunteer. You can earn money doing this in the United States. It's definitely an opportunity.
I would.
And if you make it sports oriented,
I would really look for it. Like
you
something.
see that as an internship opportunity, or like just something that you would want to do
just
for yourself
to
over the
come
summer?
and experience saying that I also worked at the summer camp. It sounds very cool. Like you have a marine license, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Like you can drive a boat around. So cool.
Yeah.
It might not be cool for you, but in my head, it's like super cool.
Yeah.
I will just go around flexing my license.
Yeah.
See, I can drive a boat.
I'd show it to you, but didn't bring it with me to the US.
Okay. Maybe you can next time show it to me or send me a picture.
Sounds good. Yeah.
See, I
would say summer camps are fun though, because when I worked as the football coach, like when I was in high school for younger kids, I did like 3 summers in a row of summer camps at the club. So much fun. And then you stay like on the pitch. They stay on like tents with the kids, and they sleep. And then you sleep on like a tent, like where you have your own tent, and all the kids are on the pitch, and you wake them up for like breakfast, and then you like just go play football all day.
It's like the proper, those teenage series or movies from US.
Yeah.
It's like exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do in like some years or maybe after the masters?
Yeah, good one. Yeah, it's a question I get asked a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I asked.
No, you're good. You're good. It's one I need to have an answer for. Clearly, if I get asked the question several times, I'd say my first step is right now is finding the internship. We spent a long time living together with Boston Luke, at least going to live in Madrid together. We spent so much time this summer looking for a place to live, which was finally sorted just about a week ago. So like less than a month before moving in. So internship seeking is the next step. I'd say I would love to do something in football. That's really my priority. I'd say where I want to work in the industry in the football industry after the master, whether that's at a football club itself or at a company in terms of sponsorship or an organization that works alongside of the football club. Anything as long as it's in the industry of the sport. So that's why in terms of an internship, like I said, I don't really have any sports industry experience. So that internship I would love to have related to it, but it could also be an internship that is something that's like cool to do. So like right now my main objective of an internship is World Cup related.
Okay.
So the World Cup of course next year 2026 is in Canada, United States and Mexico.
You can easily go?
Exactly. And so I was saying to myself, how often is there a World Cup at a location of which you have citizenship of? And especially if you look at the last World Cup locations, it's Qatar, Russia, South Africa,
Maybe Ethan could
Brazil.
have done Qatar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I think he was in
Abu Dhabi.
the UAE.
Yeah.
But so that's not often that they're like, of course, everyone, there's people from those countries, but I don't know many people who have like the nationalities of those world like host country locations. So that gives me a unique opportunity. So so far that's been my priority, like my primary objective is finding an internship that's not just involved in the World Cup, but actually on site at the World Cup next year in the United States. That would be the goal. And I don't necessarily see myself working in the United States in the future, but I think that's just a unique opportunity next year.
And a lot of people would be eager to know more about, your working experience with the World Cup.
Yep.
And then also maybe, who knows, maybe down the line you'll have your own project where you're hosting all these.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say also the day before I left for the United States, I had a really nice interview because in the hometown where Boston and I are from, Hilversum it's called, you have, interestingly enough, despite it being not too big of a town, it's the European Nike headquarters of
It's
all
in
of Europe.
Netherlands?
It's in Hilversum even, a town of 90,000 people, not in Amsterdam. As many people think it's in Amsterdam, but it's actually in Hilversum.
It's the place where you're from.
Correct.
How far is it from Netherlands?
Sorry?
I'm sorry, how far is it from Amsterdam?
About 35-minute drive, 25 minutes by train.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why they consider it inside Amsterdam.
So a lot of people have the misconception that it's in Amsterdam, the Nike headquarters, because they're like, oh, Netherlands must be Amsterdam. But it's just 30 minutes outside of it from where we're from. So I had a really nice meeting with he is the head of sports marketing at Nike, and he's responsible for Nike Europe, Africa, and Middle East.
Wow.
So that was a very nice interview to have. And I asked about what was his career and the suggestions that he had for myself looking to start up a career in the sports industry. And he also mentioned there's a lot of internship opportunities in Hilversum at the Nike office starting as of February next year. And I think that's obviously doesn't line up perfectly because I need to start as of March. It's just a month off. I'm sure I could find a way to work around that. But I see that myself as I'd love to find an internship that's not necessarily related, not the Nike one, but elsewhere myself for that March period that we have to start in March until July, August, related to the World Cup. And then I was even thinking myself of doing an internship, applying for the Nike internship as of February, not 2026, but 2027, and working potentially just from home, I suppose then. I'd be living at home with my parents again, working from that internship at Nike, European headquarters in marketing is probably where I'd see myself from February 2027 until August 2027. That's where I'd see myself. So that's two internship. I think is quite different than what other people will be doing because most people I think will want to do an internship and then start with their careers. I think I see myself, a lot of my friends, once we graduated from high school, did a gap year. And it was something I thought I'll do between a bachelor and a master. And so I went straight from high school to my bachelor, and then I wanted to do it right now. But then when I did my exchange in Copenhagen, even though it's a very prestigious school, I was doing a lot of elective courses, so the level wasn't very high. I only had like 2-3 weeks of like real hard work. So when I went back to Amsterdam, my bachelor, I failed like my first 3-4 exams in a row because I didn't work hard for 6 months. I was just out partying. So I thought, okay, that was 6 months of not working hard, but still going to less like lectures 5 days a week. Imagine if I had a whole year off.
Wow.
I would struggle. So that's why I decided to keep going, which is why I'd say I'm younger than the average age in the master, because I went straight from high school to bachelor and bachelor straight to the master. No gaps in between.
No gaps in between.
So I'm right now, the timeline that I'm thinking of for myself is the classes of the master November to February, March to then internship, March 2026 until July, August, and then taking like a half a gap year. And that, not sure where that's going to be or what that's going to be, but that would be from, I suppose, September until January. September 26th until January 27th. And then a really cool goal then would be to start that internship at Nike as of February 2027.
I'm looking for my ways to get into Nike like so bad, because I think my, what do you say, obsession over Nike started when I started reading the book about Nike, which is The Shoe Dog. You read it?
I have not, but Kaine's reading it right now.
Oh, okay, we should read it. It's eye-opening for Nike. Like, you know, it for me, if you say that Nike is corrupted or anything, that's secondary for me. Firstly, I would say that the company is built with a lot of sweat and, you know, beating their ass off. I think the company's founder, Phil, he did a lot to bring what Nike is today. And starting from, you know, being a wholesaler to a Japanese company, Onitsuka, and then traveling from US to Japan to get the shoes and selling them over here, finding people who can help him with the business, then starting a family, having self-doubts, and then, you know, getting that Nate to do his own company called Nike. And then it's very interesting how they came up with the name as well. It's all mentioned in the book. And then the most interesting part was like how they get hold the attention of one of the most legendary players in basketball, Michael Jordan.
The movie's fantastic about that as well.
The movie is fantastic about it, but it's so different. Like his, his first company was always Adidas. He's always wearing Adidas, but then he ended up with Nike. It's a whole. It says a lot, not about Michael Jordan, but about the company.
So his mother too.
It's a very different part, but it was his dad who actually signed up the deal, not the mother over here, because she is a phenomenal actor. Although I don't know her name, I know her movies. So they gave her the role. So it was his dad telling Michael Jordan that if you do not take this deal, you'll be the stupidest person alive in this country. Or in this whole world. Because it was a shoe line completely dedicated to him.
As an athlete.
Exactly. And even Adidas or no other company was ready to do that. They were like, okay, we are going to sponsor him. But here they are making everything with Air Jordan. So I think that's it tells a lot about what the company stands for. So I have been looking my ways to get into the company, but I don't know. Still till today, no luck. I will surely, I'll keep, contact you after we are graduated. And then if I visit Netherlands during the summer, which I will only to be on the boat. And then I'll contact you like, Captain, where are you?
Well, if I'm still working at those companies.
You should. Don't give up for next 2 years, okay?
Next summer I might go back. It's a great place for just some short-term money. Like I did this summer, I just worked there 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week for 2 months in a row. That was really fun. There was Sail in Amsterdam as well. It was a really big event. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's the biggest nautical event in the world. It's every 5 years in Amsterdam. And these huge tall ships, they come from all over the world into Amsterdam for just a weekend for 5 days.
It's like an expo for the ship?
Exactly. And so when they arrive on the coast of the Netherlands, then there's a total of around 10,000 boats that follow these tall, the 20 tall ships into Amsterdam from the coast of the Netherlands. So I did that as well. That was my longest day ever.
Why am I so jealous of you at this point? My jealousy.
The Netherlands is a lot of really cool sports events.
I really have to visit.
Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. I have seen a little bit bits and pieces in one of the series called Ted Lasso's. Have you watched it?
Ted Lasso's a great show.
Yes,
and I saw Amsterdam. Do you know why? What's the reason behind the inspiration of Amsterdam in the show? Because the Ted Lasso himself, I don't remember his name in real life. He's originally a comedian, now actor, and he was a comedian at I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but a cabaret, I guess it was called in Dutch, but he was literally a stand-up comedian in Amsterdam for years before he became a more famous comedian and actor. he lived in Amsterdam for years doing English spoken stand-up comedy. And so that's why he wanted to do that bit in Amsterdam, because of his history in the city.
But I like the small bridges, you know.
Yeah.
Connects it. It's really cute. I think in Paris also there are like bridges connecting to.
Paris is much different though, the river and.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Amsterdam is like Venice, I would say.
Yeah, it's similar to Venice.
Similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people say it's the Venice of the North, Amsterdam.
Oh wow.
It's also, I mean, I've been to all three, and I would say all are distinct to each other. But Amsterdam's more comparable in terms of the canals to Venice than Paris. Paris is the Seine. It's a large river. And a couple times it'll extend other ways, but it's like much larger boats than in Amsterdam as well.
Yes.
Because it's a larger river too. And then Amsterdam, you have the main river, and then they built all the canals are handmade. They weren't there before. So it's kind of like, imagine if Paris built the canals as well. They just had the Seine going through. We had that in Amsterdam, the Amstel River, but then they extended it all with canals as well. And that's what requires much smaller boats to go through.
That's so cute.
Venice is though, it's like those long boats that fit like maybe max 10 to 12 people. And they're very small canals. Amsterdam, the canals are usually just a bit larger than Venice. And you fit boats like that I drive, like 30 people on the boat.